What's up, everybody? It's Jazz Fuzz. So, I'd like to talk to another interesting topic. This topic is about sex. Now, everybody loves sex and everybody craves it, but sex can be really dangerous. It can really be painful at the same time. And then I would like to talk about sex education. Now, let's start with sex education, because sex education is very important for all our schools, from middle school to high school, and hell, even college needs to learn about sex education and stuff. Because when it comes down to it, the more you know about, not just transsexual diseases, but a lot of stuff in the human body of, somebody might have something like a rare conditions. Like, I've been watching the Health Discovery Channel where some certain women in the world who have sex, can't really have sex in their vajayjay because it's extremely painful. It's not because she's a virgin, it's because something around her walls, it's just very, very extremely painful for her to have sex and stuff. And then there's some other guys who can't, get a woody. So, it's more than just diseases. Sex really talks about your health. Because when I was in school in sex education, it was mostly about health and stuff. What was called health class. And it was mostly talking about what you gotta eat, what you don't eat, germs, bacteria. It just tells about you just need to be really healthy for your body. And just make sure you understand the stuff that you like, cigarettes and drugs and way it have, that affects your body and everything. So, today, I don't know all schools, but I remember back then I was watching the news and they were talking about they want to get rid of sex education. And it's like, why get rid of sex education? Sex education is a really important role for schools because you learn about your hygiene, you learn about the human body, you also learn about different diseases and stuff you can get just by not washing your hand, or even when you get a cut, you can get gangrene. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff besides having sex. It's basically a health class. The reason why there's sex in there, because when I was in school, that was like the end of the class. Most of the time, we were mostly talking about hygiene and how to prevent getting sick and cuts, and if you have a broken bone. Then we also learned CPR in health class too, and the Hyver maneuver. So basically, sex education is just not just about sex. It talks about more about everything else that needs to be full aware of your human body and help other people too. When it came to sex, a lot of people in the classroom, we were like, okay, it's just sex. And everybody knows that, a sperm and the egg of a woman, you make a baby. Everybody knows that. There was one boy in the class when I was in high school. He was sitting there, and I'm not as bold like I am now. I would speak my mind if something isn't right or whatever. But I wish I was bold like I am now, because I never forget what this boy in high school said. He said that he glad he's not a female, because they were talking about the birth and the cycles of periods and stuff of females and stuff. And he went and say, well, I'm glad I'm not a female. When I really want to tell him, well, the woman don't have to have sex with you, so consider it you be lost. You know what I'm saying? There were boys in high school back in the day. They stupid anyway. When I was in high school. So, we learned a lot. We learned. And before everybody took health class, I don't know about today's schools, but back in the day when I was in school, the teacher would give us an application for our parents if our parents allowed us to go to a health class, because it will talk about sex and inappropriate stuff, and yes, we saw the male private part, and yes, we saw the female's private part in health class. We saw all of that. We saw the breast, the private part of the man. We saw it all. When I was in school, we saw it all. The brain, the eyeballs, the lungs, everything. We saw the human body part in and out in the book. And the book was really heavy, and it was really thick. Oh man, I never missed school because of those heavy damn books. But, so the teachers had to give applications to parents, and only one student, just one student, did not go to the health class, believe it or not. Just one. Everybody else in the whole entire class went. I don't know how today is, because sex education is not just talk about sex. It talks about a lot more than that. It's more in depth about your body, how you should be full aware. Not just because, your hormones and you're changing, but it's also other stuff in your body that changes too. Like when I was in elementary school, I couldn't see the blackboard. I could see it up close, but I couldn't see it far. And I was writing letters like weird and stuff like that. And the teacher asked me if I couldn't see. And I told her, I said, no, I can't see. And my mom was like, oh my God, you have it what I have. My mom, she can't see far distant either. And I end up carrying the gene. The health class talk about genes and stuff, talks about cancer. The health class talk about more than you can imagine. And I don't know, like I said today, but the last time I saw the news one time, it scared me that some people want to take sex education away from schools. I'm sitting here wondering, this is the reason why a lot of young girls are pregnant, because schools are not educating young people about sex. You know what I'm saying? It's more into just to have a baby. What happened that baby have some type of disformed arm or body part or whatever. What happened if this child is suffering with multiple health problems? There's a lot more into it giving birth to a child, because in the womb anything can happen. And that's why a lot of my biology teacher in high school, she say, when you're in your mother's womb, anything can happen. Like anything. So she said, be lucky how you came out, because you could have had serious health problems when you were a baby. So a lot of teachers need to teach kids, about health. This health period. And it's just crazy that a lot of kids today are too young to be mothers and fathers today. I don't know if schools are still teaching sex education or they're teaching them the value, but when I was in school, we learned a lot. Every now and then, the school I was in, they had a daycare center for pregnant teens. But that was because other school districts didn't have a daycare for pregnant teens. So my high school was the only school that had pregnant teens who can drop their children off and stuff. I never forget this. I had to go to a different high school. And the one high school that I went, people call it the ghetto high school. It wasn't ghetto. It was just a lot of Hispanic and a lot of black people in there. So that's why they call it ghetto, because it was a different interracial. They were Indian and all that kind of stuff. But, it was really, I don't know what you would call my school. But it was just to me, it was down to earth. And everybody was different. This other school, I didn't like this other school too much. I really didn't. To me, the people were stuck up, and the people were trying to be something that they wasn't. So I didn't really like it very too much. But when I was in my math class back in the day when I was in high school, there was this boy. And I don't even remember how this conversation came up. But he went and said that my school always have a bunch of pregnant girls in there. I looked back at him. I said, excuse me. I was in that school, and I didn't end up getting pregnant. And I say something else to him, too. I cut him up. And my teacher just told him, he's like, you should watch out what you say, because what you say out of your mouth can be not true. Yeah, I told him, I said, at the high school that I went, I didn't end up being pregnant, so you can't say my high school, my old high school, that all girls are always pregnant all the time. No, and I think I explained to him that the reason why there was pregnant girls there is because other school districts didn't want pregnant teens because they didn't have daycares. Not only did they have daycares, back then, a lot of high school districts were embarrassed to have a pregnant teenager girl because that kind of looks down on a school, or it doesn't seem like the school is like really strict about the kids and stuff inside the school. Who knows? But all I know, back then when I was in school, they transferred all the pregnant teens to my high school because we had a daycare. If people be educated and learn more what's going on, then they be full aware of what they coming out their ass. I'm just saying. But he didn't say nothing after that. He shut up. Because I told him. You know, so, health class and sex education, it just educate people a lot more what's going on. You know what I'm saying? In the most part, yes, sex education does teach you about STDs and stuff. And when that was, like I said, in the health class, sex was the end of the class. And when the teacher was showing us all these pictures and stuff, all these damn STDs, and we were like, after that, you didn't want to have sex. One kid in my class, he said, I don't even want to kiss a girl. He said, I don't even want to kiss a girl. Because we realize that, yes, it's good to have pleasure, but at the same time, it comes with a deadly price if you're not too careful about the other person and stuff. So that's why I was laughing, because, that was funny. He like, I don't even want to kiss a girl. He like, the hell with it. Shit, I'd rather just stay clean for the rest of my life. But, so schools definitely have to keep sex education in. Like I said, I don't know how schools are today, but the way how young kids are acting today, it's just off the chain. I never heard so many girls getting pregnant like crazy. And I may not know their story, and I may not never hear their story. But the one thing that tells me peer pressure, it's just sad. It's peer pressure. Young kids gotta understand, having a kid is a huge responsibility. And as the young man that get that girl pregnant, he don't understand he needs to be a man. It's like this. If you're a man enough to go into bed, then you're man enough to raise a child. Because when it comes down to it, y'all two didn't want to make the decision to be safe. You know what I'm saying? Be safe. There is nothing wrong to be safe, to take birth control or whatever, and a condom. I don't get the condom part. Like, me and my grandma were discussing this one time, and we were saying that, when people make passionate love, they don't want to use the condom. The men don't. But I told her, I said, common sense would tell you, if you're not financial enough or stable enough, especially high school kids who barely even out of high school or graduate yet, is sitting here making babies. It's just unreal. You have to think logical. I don't give a damn people pressure you enough to have sex with somebody else. You are your own person. And you have to understand the consequences and the not consequences. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be young forever, wrap it up forever until you feel like you're comfortable. I just don't get it. A lot of people will blame the parents, but I say parents can only do so much. If a child is hard-headed, the child's going to be hard-headed. And, children or even young adults, we have to learn it at the hard way sometimes, because we think we know so much, but we don't know anything at all. You know what I'm saying? Unless we listen to somebody who's more experienced, like a doctor or somebody who had the same situation as you that end up getting pregnant, and they would tell the story. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we all have to take some type of responsibility and understand the consequences that's going to come later on. I don't think a lot of teachers are trying to tell young kids, listen, you have to think logical these days. It's not fun and games. Let me tell you something. The only reason why you got those nice clothes is because your parents. The only reason why you got that cell phone is because your parents. The only reason why you're eating every damn day is because your parents. And also you got a roof over your head. It's because your parents. It's one thing I see, not all young kids out here, but some young kids are ungrateful. Stop being ungrateful. Your mom and dad have worked their ass off every single day, just enough for you. Only thing they ask for you is just be smart of your decisions and go to school and make good grades. At least go to college or something, or get a nice job. Because let's be real here. Do you want your parents to take care of you for the rest of your life? And sad that some of them do. But you're not being an adult if you let your parents take care of you for the rest of your life. You're still being a kid. If you're out here getting it, go get it. You know, stop relying on your parents. And young women, you have every right to say no. I don't care if he loves you. Let me tell you something about love. If a young man loves you, he will not pressure you to have sex. You know what he be pressuring you about? How far we can bring our relationship. How strong can we build our relationship? I know I'm talking heavy here, but there are some young men out there think like that. But all these knuckleheads, all they're doing just want to go back to their homeboys and say how good the sex was. When they need to understand that sex is not everything. It's not everything. It's almost like a cake. Yeah, sex is like the icing. But when you get to the cake, to the bread, that's when things get a little complicated when it comes to relationships. Like I said, I'm not so sure if schools are teaching kids about relationships and sex and, you know what I'm saying? I'm not so sure. I'm not in school anymore, and I don't have a lot of young people. Although I go to the gym and I talk to a couple of young guys, but we never had enough time to talk because we work out and stuff like that. But what I do understand, the two young guys that go to my gym, they are very respectful guys, and they're very smart and stuff. And they seem very respectful towards anybody. But the rest of these knuckleheads out here, somebody needs to sit there and teach them. The problem is they think they know it all. And I got news for you. You don't know anything. You're from high school and then middle school. You still got a whole lot to learn. Just like me, I'm an adult. I still have a whole lot to learn. I have not figured everything out until I be 100 years old. Then that's the time I figure everything out. But even if I hit 100, I'm still trying to figure stuff out. You know? You have to be smart. Having a child is no joke. And just because you walk away from the situation, let me ask you this. Seems like you got a girl pregnant, right? And you don't want to be a father yet. You still want to run around with your boys and stuff like that and still chasing girls. So you leave her and the child. Let me get news for you. When you get older and be a man and you realize you have a child, just some guys, because a lot of guys don't care, but there are some that do have that guiltiness in their mind. That they say, shoot, I should have stayed with that girl and the child that I created with. When you go back to that child, sometimes 9 out of 10, that child's going to look at you like, who are you and what do you want? You left me and my mom for dead, basically. My mama worked her ass off just to support me, but you went off and run around and do whatever you want to do. It shouldn't be that way. The young men would just get girls pregnant and take off. It shouldn't be that way. Back in the day, When I'm talking about 1920s now and 30s, men, if they got a woman pregnant, back then you have to marry that girl if you got that girl pregnant. That's just how it is. But time has changed. So no wonder these knuckleheads, and sometimes girls too, will just leave somebody else with the child. Wrap it up. Take birth control pills. It's not that hard. But I can't speak on everybody because it might be hard for some people. It might be hard. But at the same time, to me, logical is not. Because when you feel that urge of sex, then you know what time it is. So when people say get into the moment, there is no moment. You felt it, that person felt it, you know what's about to go down. Wrap it up. But hey, this is everybody's life. Everybody can do whatever they want to do in this life. But I'm just telling you, have some common sense. Especially y'all young people out here. Sorry, someone called me. Unknown number. Don't pick it up if it's an unknown number. But, so basically, just be cautious what you do. And not only that, I know in school when I was looking at that one time on the news that they did a double standard about girls having sex than guys. I did this in my last video. There is no double standards because both sides takes responsibility of everything. Sex education is very important because they need to learn about a lot of things. It's just not just clear about sex. It's just about everything about the human body. That's why it's called health class. I don't know if they still have health class, which I hope they do have health class, so they can learn. But like I say, I can't speak out on all the young kids out here, the way how their background is and who their parents are, but I'm just hoping for the sake of y'all have common sense. And I can see a lot of young kids out here who do have common sense. It's that little P word. It's just peer pressure. You just want to fit in. You want to get popular. You want to get noticed. Well, you be noticed if you be different. You be noticed if you do the right thing. And you be noticed if you do a lot of great things. It's not that hard. But we're so worried to fit in so bad. Stop trying to fit in. Just walk your own drum. But what I'm talking about young middle school kids and young kids in high school. Y'all still got a lot to learn. But I'm willing, hoping you have some common sense. The things that you do, okay? And as for sex, and this is for everybody, young adults and teens, sex is just a potion for everybody to just get high climax of lust. You know what I'm saying? But sex, one time, another person I say that, I told her, I said, I don't get why people have to have sex with multiple people, especially guys. It's like they want to win a damn trophy or whatever. To me, it's kind of stupid. Who cares if you're the beast in the bed? Same thing with a female. Who gives a rat ass how many people you slept with? You don't get no damn gold medal. Depends who you sleeping with. You might get a gold medal. I'm just saying. You don't have to have sex to impress people. Because let me tell you something. There's 1 billion people on this planet and nobody don't really care if you like King Kong in the damn bedroom. Nobody don't really care. You know what I'm saying? But what the world does care, and hopefully that you just test yourself when you go out there and have fun. Just being full aware that other people are, might not be clean. And ask a bunch of questions. It's that fear of asking questions and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Don't be scared. We all have to get tested. I get tested. You know what I'm saying? And I'm clean, thank God, you know. But just get tested. Get tested. You know what I'm saying? Get tested. You know, so, for example, like these guys be dipping and diving with females. Don't always think a girl is clean. I'm going to tell you right now. Don't think all women are clean. Because I got news for you, buddy. A lot of women out here ain't clean. And just because she ain't from prostitution or whatever, that don't mean a damn thing. They are not some clean women in this world. So a lot of guys better think twice before they stick it. And wear a damn condom for your sake. Because the next thing you know, you can wake up in the morning and your penis just fell off. I'm just being real. You know, it's not a joke out here when you have unprotected sex. And I understand sex is really nice and it's hot and it's passionate and you just want to keep going on and on. It's just a chemical reaction of feel-good hormones. That's all that is. But at the end of the day, just keep yourself safe. I talked in my last video about, you know, men and women and stuff like that, and sex and all that kind of stuff. But sex is just a nice, to me, I say sex is like candy. You know what I'm saying? Sex is like candy. Once that sugar rush go away, it will go away. You know what I'm saying? But some people got to have it all the time. That's what you call sex addicts. And they need some help because they just go off the chain on people. But you don't necessarily need to have sex all the time. Now, yes, there are studies that show sex does release stress. And yes, sex is a workout. Believe it or not, you will lose weight if you have sex all the time. There's a lot of good things about sex, but it's a lot of bad things about sex. But at the end of the day, I think most people need to concentrate to build a relationship. Sex is part of the relationship, but building a strong, healthy relationship and making it like a lifetime is more important than just having sex in the bed. For some people, you know, that they do have a healthy, strong relationship, but sex is really down. Try to spice up your sex somehow. And if you're going to do a threesome, please test that other person. Or if you go to a swinger place, ask that person to let everybody get tested. I know this is reality and people don't think like I do. I know that. But I'm just saying, just an idea, you know, just be aware. Then some people are afraid to get tested because they're scared they might have something. Let me tell you something. It's better to know what you have than you don't know, because whatever you had, it can grow inside of you and it can kill you inside of you deadly and slowly. The sooner you know what you have, the faster you can get rid of it. Unfortunately, when it comes to HIV and AIDS, unfortunately you can't get rid of it, but you can help it slow down the progress, and you can take safety measures to protect your partner or multiple partners or whatever, not to spread the disease. And then herpes is one of the disease that you cannot get rid of, but as long as you take your medication and keep checking for outbreaks. I had a friend who had herpes, and she told me the only way you can get herpes is when it does an outbreak. When people have herpes and they have an outbreak, that's how you can attract herpes. But when that person doesn't have an outbreak, then you're fine. You can still continue to have sex. Of course, you still have to wear protection if you have sex with this person. But other than that, you're fine. But your partner will continue checking him or herself to make sure that they're not having an outbreak. And then some people who do have herpes, they don't even have outbreaks or ain't have any symptoms at all. So they really don't know they have it. See, that's why I say sometimes it's best to ask that partner to get tested just to be safe. You know what I'm saying? But herpes is a controllable disease just like HIV and AIDS. those people could still make love, those people could still make babies, and those people could still have a partner. As long as they keep on checking the medication, testing, and all that kind of good stuff, it's fine. They can still make love. You know what I'm saying? So, therefore, you have to get tested. You have to be cautious of the decisions and stuff like that. Me, personally, I have many times have asked a partner to get tested and stuff like that. I even test myself. Thank God me and my partner don't have anything. I don't have a partner now. I'm single. But when I used to, back in the day when I used to date and stuff, so me and my partner always did check if, anything's popping. But thank the Lord that I don't got nothing. And thank God she didn't have nothing either. So it's always be careful and just test yourself. Test yourself. One guy told me he tests himself every now and then. It doesn't hurt. Some people get tested for a year. So it doesn't hurt to find out if you're okay, if you're not. Just thank God that there's a lot of doctors, scientists are out there day and night trying to find cures for different types of transsexual diseases. You better thank God for them because they're working on the clock. And I'm not trying to be mean, but but some people who do have the self-conscious to protect themselves, and unfortunately there's some people who don't. Like, people end up getting raped or molested or whatever. Unfortunately, those people couldn't really do anything. And some children who were born with their mother who have AIDS or HIV, they got AIDS and HIV, so there was nothing they can do about it either. But the ones who are out here have more common sense and have control and have no excuse, basically. Just please protect yourself, because doctors, they wouldn't be working on the clock trying to find a damn pill or a vaccine for whatever type of transgender diseases that you got. If people would have protected themselves much heavier, then I guarantee it won't be these many transsexual diseases. I can't name all of them because some of them I cannot even pronounce. But there are so many transsexual diseases. When I say there's many, I mean it's mind-baffling how many transsexual disease, even some we never heard of, is out there somewhere. That's how things got bad and stuff like that. So sex is nice, is healthy, but at the same time, you just gotta be aware what you're doing. And when it comes down to it, it's just common sense. Common sense. You just gotta have common sense when you do sex. And if you feel like you want to have a trophy because you like the beast in the bed, go ahead, have a gold medal and a silver medal too. I don't care. The billions of people are doing thousands of different things and nobody don't care you're the beast in the bed. It's like all these rappers, having sex with women, like who cares? I mean, really, who cares? Who cares? And most people say, oh, you just mad because you can't get none. The hell with you. I don't want none. Hell, I got a life. I'm focused on a lot of stuff besides trying to have a 10,000 million girls on my chat list, how many I had sex with. No, life is more important than that. Life is getting yourself together, get yourself comfortable, and be happy in your life. I ain't worried about if someone got more sex than I do. I don't care, to be personally honest, and nobody should either. But that's the kind of lifestyle they like to be in, so be it. That's fine. That is fine and dandy. I got a life, they got a life. In the story. You know what I'm saying? In the story. In the story. There's some studs out here probably get more booty than I do, but I don't care. Because that's their style. That's their life. My life is more focused on keep it grounded, keep it moving, keep confident, be positive, proactive. You know what I'm saying? Be aggressive. It's trying to go to your career or whatever you're trying to do in life. And that's what I'm doing, and I'm hoping a lot of people are doing the same. Just be upward. You know what I'm saying? So don't worry about people who have more booty and this and that. Who cares? Who cares, man? Who cares? Because to me, I'm stress-free. To me, someone who had multiple sex, I hope that they wear protection. But that's fine. They want to do that, they don't do that. Because I'm fine when I'm at. I'm focused. I'm focused. I got stuff to do, people to see, places to go. You know what I'm saying? And plus, I want a lifetime relationship with a partner. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to keep bouncing. Like I said, if some people are like that, that's fine. That's your lifestyle, and that's cool. And I got my own little lifestyle as well. So everybody's got something a little different. But yeah, so sex, it's just really important to be aware of the people you're with and the group you're with, and don't let peer pressure get to you. Just the bottom line about sex and sex education is just be knowledgeable and be educated by everything that is going on. There are so many pamphlets and programs, and doctors are just waiting to hear you ask a whole bunch of questions. It's not embarrassment to ask a doctor or a nurse about sex questions. It's not embarrassment. To be quite honest, I think some of them probably think, thank God this person's asking me these questions and stuff, you know? It's good to ask questions about sex and stuff. Nobody's not stupid when you ask a question. Like people say, no question isn't stupid. No question is not stupid. If you don't know, you don't know. Like, I don't know a lot of stuff. So you damn right I'm gonna ask your ass a lot of questions. If I don't understand something, I'm gonna tell you what it is. Like, what is this? What is that? X and Y and Z. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? So always talk to your doctor, your nurse. I know I can't say teachers and kids who are in school and stuff, middle schoolers and high schoolers and stuff. But just talk to your parents. You know, if your parent don't want to talk to your grandmother. Don't have a grandmother. Talk to a adult neighbor or somebody who's really you feel comfortable with. How about that? If you feel strongly comfortable with somebody, you know, ask them questions about sex and stuff, because they will know the answer and they will tell you about sex. But at the end of the day, it's very important to talk about healthy sex relationships and just sex health, period. I mean, every December, we talk about the AIDS awareness and stuff like that. But I think every single day should be awareness of STDs no matter what. Not all of a sudden you got something. No, you should be aware of it every single day no matter what. And a lot of these people who may have these STDs, like HIV and AIDS and other stuff, they're living a healthy and comfortable lifestyle. They're doing what they gotta do. They enjoy their living conditions. They enjoy their career, their job, and nothing's not stopping them. Like, nothing not stopping them at all. Nothing is stopping them, you know. And I'm proud of those people that keep on moving forward, you know. But at the end of the day, we all need to be knowledgeable about sex and stuff. And I know some people don't want to talk about it because it's taboo out in public, but it shouldn't, because everybody has sex every now and then. Everybody has sex every now and then, you know. But for the guys and girls around the world, and especially young adults and young kids who are middle school and high schools, just be knowledgeable about everything that you do. I mean, everything has to be, you got common sense. Everything's common sense. And like I said, I know it's peer pressure. Peer pressure is like the number one killer. I don't care what people say, that car crashes and alcohol is the number one killer in America, but I think the number one killer in America is peer pressure. Because peer pressure just take overwhelm on people. And it make people do poor decisions. Don't let nobody peer pressure to do you anything. I learned that very long time ago. And I'm still learning because, believe it or not, adults like the peer pressure on other adults. But you should always be full aware of everything you do and say. And if you do have a child, take care of that child. Think about that child. Because that child didn't ask to be on this earth at all. This child have not been asked to be on this earth. Y'all two decided to make this child be on this earth, so you have to raise this child. Or give it to a loving adopted family. Whatever you do, it's up to you. But I'm just saying, sex is fun, but it can also be deadly. And it can also cost your life, and it can also hurt people around you. You know what I'm saying? It depends. When I said that, I mean like cheating spouses and cheating boyfriend and girlfriend. You hear the stories all the time. Some crazy knucklehead killed this other guy because he was messing with his girlfriend. That's why I say sex is a deadly thing. That's why I know a lot of people don't believe in God, but that's why God say lust is the number one sin. And there's a reason, because people go out there and kill people because they're cheating and messing around and stuff. Lust is a deadly thing. It's deadly. So I advise people to be careful with lust and sex. Just be careful with it. Because you might end up in a damn graveyard somewhere. You mess with the wrong person. Just saying. But, this one's a little short and stuff like that. This one's a little short because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of videos about sex and stuff like that. But I just want y'all to be careful out there, to protect yourself, read stuff, get in knowledge, get in notice about everything about the human body, and just be safety. Just safe. And don't let nobody peer pressure you. And I'm hoping a lot of schools are still teaching health class and sex education for a lot of these young people out here. You know, so this video is real short because I'm pretty sure a lot of people know a lot more today. But I just want to say my 2 thoughts on it and stuff. But like I said, it's your life. You can do whatever you want. So, take care. Bye.